So I hope you all have seen the Blender Guru videos. Andrew Price, that guy down in the corner over there. I really enjoy his videos, and I think he's a fantastic tutorial artist, as well as a fairly interesting personality. I really enjoy his videos across the board, even his interviews with artists and stuff like that. So anyway, I thought it would be nice to take his series, beginning Blender 3.0, his latest donut tutorial, and turn that into a version for scripting. So this is the first script thing, whatever episode, of doing the same idea as this video here, which is episode 1 of his tutorial, beginning Blender tutorial. So that's what we're gonna do right now. So I'm gonna go away and make Blender the central focus here. And I think you've all seen this splash screen before. And I've just gone to general. We're going to go to scripting. So in the video, what Andrew did is he basically just rotated this cube, slid it around, and scaled it. So we're going to figure out, how do you do the three things? How do you scale a cube? How do you rotate a cube? And how do you move a cube around? So we have here a Python console, and we also have a script console. Now, I've already written the script, but we're going to do it from scratch. And then if I get stuck, I might look at a VS Code window I have somewhere else to see exactly what it is I'm doing. And all of the stuff will be up on GitHub, and I'll post a link or something. I don't know what I'm doing. I'll do something about it in a bit. So let's get started. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is this little window here already has a lot of the stuff we want loaded and imported. So we can just trial and error stuff. So, I would imagine from my days as a, whatchamacallit, CAD person, that what we want to do is what's known as a transform. Normally in CAD, rotating, translation, and scaling are transforms. So let's take a look at what's in the BPY kind of things and see if we can figure out if there's a way to, and let's pretend we started this without anything selected, because one thing I learned about Blender is you need to select it. So let's see what's in the BPY. Hey, there's this BPY, context, data, ops. Ops might be a good thing. So let's take a look there. What's in there? What's in there is a bunch of stuff, it looks like. We have actions. Ooh, anim. I'm guessing that's animation. Armatures. Well, what do we think this will be? This will probably be something like resize or scale or something like that. So let's scroll down alphabetically sorted here. Is it scale? No, I don't see anything called scale. Let's look at the R's. Is it R's? No, maybe it's under something called a transform. Oh, there's a transform. So yeah, I knew it was there before. But I gotta pretend. So let's see what are the transforms available. Most of these I don't understand, but look, there's one that looks really promising right there. Resize, right? And then there's another one that looks very promising. Rotate, right? And then there's another one very promising. Translate, right there. So it looks like those are the things we want. Now I don't know what most of these are. I don't know what a B-bone is, or a bend, or an orientation, or an edge, bevel weight, or any of these other things. I might be able to figure them out later, but we're just going to follow along with what Andrew did in his video 1, right? Which was these three. So the first thing he did was scaling. So that's probably resizing. So what I have is a value, but how do I pick the object? So probably the answer is going to be something like value equals and then a tuple indicating how much I want to scale in each axis, right? So if I want to scale, and one of the interesting thing about Cartesian math systems is that Cartesian math says, hey, everything is a XYZ tuple, right? And you can composite a vector with these three unit vectors and scale along any axis you want, or along any arbitrary place that you want to, just by decomposing into XYZ vectors. So that's how the way this works, is these are the scalars associated with those vectors. So, 1, 1, 1 is the unit, and it means do nothing. Size it to the exact size it already is. 2, 2, 2 means double it on x, double it on y, double it along z, right? 1, 2, 2 means, hey, keep it the same on x, make it 2 on y, make it 2 on z. But if I just did this, well, by the way, I don't know much of what I'm talking about here. I just figured this out a few minutes ago. So we're going to run into lots of errors. Let's see what this does. Canceled. Well, that's the strangest result ever. Why was this canceled? Well, maybe it's got something to do with the fact that we don't have anything selected. So maybe what we have to do is get the object. So how can we figure out what's in the scene? Well, let's go back to BPY and see what else we have. What did I miss? Oh, sorry, BPY tab. I'm using tab to get this. Well, there's this thing called data. What's in there? Oh, scenes. What's in there? Oh, it's a collection. Well, what's in the 0 item? It's a scene. Oh, so we have a list there. There's one called objects. That didn't really help. But object seems to have, oh, I can pick one. Camera, cube, and light. So maybe if I pick the cube, oh, and then maybe I can select it. Oh, there's select, get, select, set. So normally get is about getting state in Python, so it's probably select set in this case. What did I miss? And let's try true. What does that do? Nope. No, one too many. Oh, it just got highlighted with the orange. See that? We selected it. Now let's go back to that scale. What happened there? Let's go 2 units along X. What does that do? Oh, we just resized it. What if I want to make it, I want to undo that? I just do 1/2. Oh, there we go. What if I want to make it 2 on X and 2 on Y? What does that do? Oh, that's kind of neat. And if I want to undo that, I just take the inverse, right? What if I want to make it 2 along X, 1/2 along Y, and 3 along Z? Ooh, what if I want to undo that? I take the inverse of what my previous operation was. Notice what else I'm doing here. And I got back to the unit cube. So the two things that looks like it does is it looks like it makes changes step by step, which means that every transform gets applied to every other transform in cumulative kind of effect there. So now let's uh, let's scale it so that it's a little bit bigger. So we're going to make it double the size on X and Y, but we're going to make it 1.115 along Z. Oh, that's kind of neat. All right, so that's the first thing is we just learned how to resize an object. Great. Now, what about if we want to rotate the object? Well, why don't we try a little rotation? So we saw earlier bpy.ops had this idea, transform, rotate. And I don't know what the difference between rotate and rotate normal is, but I do see that it's got a value. So I can do this. One of the interesting things is, looks like this is in radians. So let's do a pi half rotation around the z axis. I guess that wouldn't really show up very well, huh? Because that would just be a 90-degree rotation of something that looks perfect. So let's do it pi fourth. Oh, 45-degree rotations. Isn't that neat? What if I did it again? Oh, what if I did it smaller? What if I did it pi 9? And again, and again, and again, and again. Hey, which way is it rotating? It's rotating counterclockwise. So what if I did it negative? Oh, it's rotating clockwise. So now we know that at least in this default viewport view, where we're looking, I'm guessing this is positive x, this is positive y, and this is positive z. I don't know if you guys could see the mouse or not, but the red axis being x, the green one being y, and an invisible one being z. Positive x being coming out towards the screen, positive y going to my left, and positive z going straight up. I think, I could be wrong, but that's what I think it is right now. All right, so now we figured out uh, rotations. How about we try and figure out translations? So now we saw that BPY also opts transform, also had translate. I cannot type. And value equals, and this looks like it's going to be a tuple of x, y, and z translation. So let's move it 2 along x, and just we'll move it along x, like that. Oh, there we go. We moved it positive. Let's see which way positive y really is. We'll move it 2 along y. Oh, that way is positive. I completely reversed it. So going to the right, how about we move it up? Oh, there we go. How about we move it in x, y, and z at the same time? We're going to move it back to, what'll this do? Hey, we translated it just back to z. I'm just going to use my middle thing here because we undid the previous things. Standard vector math. So there we go. Well, how do we make this all work here? So why don't we do a new little script here, and let's just do these 3 options things we did. So the first thing we did is we selected the cube. The next thing we did is we resized it. The next thing we did is we rotated it. And the next thing we did is we translated it. I wonder if this will work. Hint, hint, I'm pretty sure it won't work, but I'm going to explain why in a second. All right. Well, how do we run this? We click the little run button right over here. Oh, script failed. Check the message in the system console. I have no idea where this system console is. If I look up here, I don't see anything that looks like, maybe there's a window that says console, but the system console, maybe they really mean the system console, as in like what you would see in your shell. But since I didn't start this from a shell, I don't have any messages in a system console. You know, maybe I should have. Let's try that. I want to start Blender from my shell. So here I am. Uh, Running the shell here, Windows PowerShell. I'm a Windows user. Let's see what happens if I start it from here. And then general, scripting. Let's rewrite that entire little thingy. Now I'm just following my own curiosity. So let's just do this first thing and see if this will work by itself. That's right, I need a script. Let's run that. Check the system console. Oh, this is what they meant by the system console. Read press. Traceback. Text line 1. User name error. Name BPY is not defined. Why? I wonder. Right? Because those modules are built in, and it looks like they pre-import them in this shell here, but they don't in any scripts you write. So maybe what you have to do is write import BPY. Oh, there we go. Look, I selected. Let me undo that again. Select it. See? So that looks like how you do it. Now let's scale it. I'm just copying and pasting. So this will keep it the same size along X, make it a hair bigger along Y, and double its height. There we go. Now let's rotate it, and let's translate it. 10 units long X. One of the things I don't like about Blender, or I'm not sure if I like or dislike, is that I don't know. Uh, these are cumulative operations. Every time I run the script, it does it again. You can see it's kind of weird, right? So that's something I'm not sure I particularly like about anything. But we can let's and why did this not work right? I didn't feel like it did a translation. Did I need an enter there for that to be parsed by their parser? Python script failed. Rotate value equals pi half. Orient axis equals z. Line 7. Let's see. Line 7. Pi is not defined. Do you know what I didn't import? Import math. Oh, sorry. Import math utils. That's usually where pi seems to be defined. No. Okay, so where the heck is pi defined if it's not math utils? Let's see if I import these, what happens. It still does not know where. Oh, from math import star. There we go. We got pi that way. Okie dokie. So now we have it moving. So we made something huge. So how do we undo all that? Well, we would have to undo each of these, and it broke on this line a lot. So we'll have to undo the scale and move it back and things like that. It would be a pain in the butt. So maybe what we can do is figure out in code how to make a new cube. I have no idea how to do this. So I'm about to figure it out as we go. So bpy dot tab. Hmm, types or data? Dot. Would there be something like create or add? Actions, armatures, brushes, cameras, collections, curves, fonts, grease pencils, ID data. Items looks like it might be nice. What's in that one? But before I do that, let's see if there's anything. Materials, meshes. That's another one. Let's take a look at meshes. What's in there? Well, when in doubt, Google it out. Okay. Let's see where cubes are. Let's look here and see if there's anything. GPU. Ah, bmesh.ops.createCube. That looks promising. Parameters. The mesh to operate on. Well, what if I don't have a mesh? So, well, let's just try it out and see what happens. Oh, there's a new. bpy dot data dot meshes dot new. Let's make a reference to this. Sum mesh equals 9.1 in module required name not specified. Okay, so we'll give it a name equals duty because this is a silly thing to do. Oh. So now I have a mesh. Let's use this window and delete this cube. Hey, look, it's gone. This will now. I wonder what will happen if I do this because there's nothing called cube. Yep, great. It gave me an error. And if I look at the thing, none type because this thing select gave me back a none. Okay. So now I've got this sum mesh. And now let's try bmesh.ops.create underscore cube. Size is a float? Well, I guess cubes are cubes, so let's try that out. Bmesh. Hello? I missed my click. Bmesh dot ops dot create cube. Ops dot create. Do I not have bmesh? I do not have bmesh. Is that not a built-in? Well, let's import it. Okay. Bmesh dot. There we go. Ops. Huh, I wonder what dot new would do here. Dot create cube. And then what did I call that thing? Some mesh. Some mesh one. See if that's what the API wants. So it wants. Do I wonder if they're all optional? Okay, float matrix multiplied. Calculate default UVs. I don't know what'll happen if I do this. Well, let's find out. Expects a single bmesh positional argument. All other arguments must be keywords. Okay. So let's, oops. Okay, so bmesh equals some mesh size equals 1.0 matrix equals matrix calc UVs. Okay. I have no idea what's going on here. I think that the console did this. And I don't know what I'm supposed to construct in the matrix. I'm just grabbing the information from here. And then calc UVs false. And it says that I can just say calc UVs equals to false. So calc, I missed, UVs equals false. What does this do? BMS expects a single positional must be keywords. What positional argument are you expecting? I wish their documentation had an example per thing, because it just says create cube, BM, size, matrix, calc UVs. That's it. Size, and this is the 3.01 thing, so it should be things. It's that, and then calc UVs false, and it will turn up an output. But it did not, in fact, create a cube, and instead it's expecting a positional argument. Which positional argument are you expecting? Let's take a look. Okay, bmesh. Maybe that's the one that it wants. Okay. So let's say some mesh size equals 1.L. Expects a single bmesh positional argument. All other arguments as keywords. You got that. This is positional. All other were positionals. Single bmesh positional argument. All other args, and some mesh is not a bmesh. What are you? Your BPY data meshes. Maybe what I need to do is go to bmesh dot new And let's just call it foo. Now what I do is vmesh dot ops create cube foo size equals 1.0. That just gave me vertices. Okay, well that doesn't work. bpy dot data dot scenes. Let's go this far. Is there an add? Updates values as byte. Can I do set? Nope. Scenes. Animation as pointer assets. Camera. Display. Ooh, that looks neat. Frames. Gravity. Gravity. Items. Maybe. Let's go back to the documentation. Alright, so here's what other things. Ops mesh primitive cube add. Oh, that looks even better. Let's try that one. BPY obs size equals 2. Hey, that looks good. And it looks like it's got other useful things. So let's try this one. Okay, what was it? It's BPY ops cube add size equals. Let's grab that much. Hey, we got something. We got a cube. Did it give me a name? It's called cube. How do I know? Because I can see it over here in the thing. So if I go back to objects and get, and then tab that, it should give me a thing. Let's find out if I'm right. Yep. So we have dot get dot cube. That's just not selected for fun. You know what else I noticed? This cube, its default size I did here is 1. Let's delete this cube. Let's go back to where we made it. Got wrapped around, didn't it? Okay. Let's go back to this thing. Copy. Paste. Let's go 10.0, comma. I wonder if it has a name. So it's got add, calc UVs, enter edit mode. Ooh, align it to the world. Look. Oh, you can set it in a location, but can I set the name? So I can scale it, I can rotate it, I can set an alignment, I can put it, and I can calc UVs. But I can't get the name or set the name. Huh. That's just unexpected. So let's just do this size equals 10. Size 10. Why did you not like that? Unexpected indent. Oh, okay, fine. APY ops mesh primitive cube add. I don't know what the gizmo is. Size equals 10. There we go. And this is called cube, and now this entire thing will run. No, if I didn't have a typo there. There we go. We have created a cube. We have sized it. We have rotated it, and we have translated it. And we've accidentally played with the Blender docs too, and gotten a bunch of other confusing things. Like this one says add a cube. This one says primitive cube add gizmo. It also adds a cube. And what is this matrix? 4 by 4. I don't know what it does. Scale, rotation, location, alignment, enter in edit mode. What's the difference? It has this matrix. That's the difference. We'll have to figure out what the heck these matrices do. If anyone knows, let me know. Alright, and now if you want to find this script right here, or at least the one I wrote earlier, you can go to my GitHub, which will be right here under Blender, beginner1py, and there is a getting the cube, resizing the cube, rotating the cube, and translating the cube in a really simple little script. Anyway, I hope you all have fun, and I hope this was as informative for you as it was for me as I tried to figure stuff out. See you all next time.